Peace. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty love to all the queens and kings on the meeting platform here for Mindset Monday.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday. Today is Monday, January 26, 2026. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know for a lot of us, we had a whole heap, we would say in Jamaican language, a whole heap of snow where I am, and for most of the persons or in the northern part, the northern states, around this side,
Northern Hemisphere,
northern
yes.
hemisphere, you have a lot of snow. But I hope, although it's cold, you're enjoying. You see the all the snow that just trickling down, and of course, for some who had to shovel, I know it was not an easy feat. But thank God you were in the position to shovel, or you had someone to assist you with shoveling, or you paid someone to shovel. And for those who have cars parked on the road, I know I have seen the hours it took for so many persons to dig their car from under the snow. But thank God that we are here today to enjoy or to just look back or to reflect on what happened few hours ago. I hope it is the last snowstorm we have.
Sunday.
My hope is the last snowstorm we have, but we are told based on the forecast that and more is on the horizon. But anyway, we know it's winter and we got a reprieve few winters ago. We did not have much snow, so let's see what we can make of this season. Enjoy the season while we're in the season. And although it's winter, there are many of us who are going through different seasons in our life. But whatever the season you are going through, you say the operative word is going through. This too will pass. Every season has an end.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. And it's winter. The a lot of people will tell you, I love winter because I go ski. And so you see, different depend on the season, you have lovers for every season.
Mm.
But let's embrace what we can embrace while we are in this season and see what we can learn from this season and how we can be helped or how we can help others through this season and through the season of life that we are going through right now.
Mm.
This year, my word is flow.
Mm.
And whatever the season of life you're going through, though there may be bumps, challenges, um, as people drive through the snow, it's really treacherous. So just take your time and flow through the different seasons, figuratively and actively. Flow through the different seasons of life. So whatever lesson you it was there for you to learn. You will not miss those lessons.
Mm.
Today we will be looking at uh, and also rehearsing what we spoke about last week. We're in the height of tax season. It actually didn't fully start yet because most people did not get their W-2s. W-2s are sent out. Most people should get it by the 31st. And that's just one piece of information for most people who file taxes. They
In the
have their
US.
1090. And we're talking about the US right now. So you have the 1099, you have other forms that you need to gather in order to file your taxes to make sure that all of the income that you receive is reported.
Is it the same time for Canada?
Some way, somewhat, yes. So this evening, we're going to look at this bill that was passed July 2025, and they call it the One Big Beautiful Bill. And I was asking myself, why is it called the One Big Beautiful Bill? I think for the most part, for business owners, for those rich people, I think it actually caters to them most. However, there are little things in there for the middle class or the we who don't have all of those investments, those assets, those big businesses. But there's a little bit there for us too. And what is this big, beautiful bill? It's a whole heap of stuff, but I may just summarize it a little bit just to help us who are viewing. So this bill was signed July 2025, and they referred to the legislation, or there are changes, or um, as in conjunction with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. Um, one of the one of the benefits of this bill for working class, it includes removing taxes on tips and overtime. And there are new senior deductions and increase in the standard deduction. And for those who normally file itemized deductions, and since the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we no longer could itemize because the the threshold for state and local tax deduction diminishes. So we didn't have any incentive to file itemized, and our refund reduces, and for those who pay back tax, our tax liability increases. But
I thought you said that this was for big business.
I said, for the most part, but there are few there for us working class.
But you started out with working class. You talk about tips. Big business don't get tips.
No, as I said, these
Mhm.
are the little things. These are just the little finer points I'm sharing for
Okay,
the working class.
okay.
Now,
So people who get tips, they don't pay tax on tips. That's what
according,
you're saying.
yes, with this new big beautiful
Okay.
bill,
And overtime. When last year somebody get overtime? I don't
quite I
remember
know quite a
overtime.
few people do
Yeah?
get overtime. Yes, it's the
Oh wow.
nurses do get overtime. You have people
Hmm.
who
Oh,
work at
nurses,
the
right.
es- during the holiday season. A lot of people in the retail industry, they do get overtime
Okay,
because of the
okay.
influx of
Of more
customers, yeah,
customers.
moving
Mm.
through.
Okay.
No,
So this part is for the working class.
yes.
Okay.
So yes, as I was saying, I was talking about a lot of people who normally itemize could not, because most of their itemized deductions would come from the state and local taxes, where if they have a house, the real estate taxes would help to, boost up the itemized deduction, so they would get a little bit more than the standard deduction, and so their refund would be a little higher, or their taxes, which their tax liability would have been a little lower. uh but that could not happen because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But a little light at the tunnel, they have increased, or this big beautiful bill increased the state and local tax deduction, and it is up to 40,000. So I think the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was 10,000, somewhere there, but it's now 40,000. So that's one of the things that we can say for the working class. If you are in that category who used to itemize, you can. If you have other itemized deductions like charitable donations and other things that would have been in that category. So that's good. I will explain more next week, but I wanted to share with you one thing before you actually do your tax return. You know, every year we do inventory for those who have businesses. Every year we do inventory or we do our analysis in different things that we have, our assets, whether we have just one little account or whatever. It's good to do an analysis every year. If you have a life insurance, it's good to do an analysis. Call up your life insurance agent and find out, ask questions. Uh, I want to know where I'm at with my life insurance. And also for some people, they may not know if they have a whole life or a term life. Get that information so you know exactly what and where you are. So this is the time of the year that you do all of these analysis. So when you go through the year, you're able to sit at ease somewhat because you know what is going on. So one, call up your life insurance agent, find out about your life insurance, make sure that your beneficiaries are current. Remember last week we spoke about people who they have a life insurance or whatever, and the beneficiary was not updated, and the resources or the monies go to somebody else, or the person who was there who should not have been there because you did not update your information. Or if that's what you want, you want to know whatever you need is there. Make the effort to call. It's not easy sometimes when you don't know the questions to ask. But if you have an issue in wanting to know what to ask, I can help you. A 15-minute consultation. I can help you with that. And so you can call your agent. You can sit with your with your financial advisor to have an analysis as to where I'm at. If you have a huge if you have huge debts, you want to sit down and see how you can write down those debts by making a plan. Either moving things around, or now that you may get overtime for people who are in different fields, you can use some of that overtime money to pay down the smaller debts or the debts that have high interest. And so we want to set you up for success in every area of your life. Because if you just go to work and pay bills, you will not know where you are. And we always encourage that you have something safe for rainy day.
So what happened to snowy days?
Well, you could say this.
As I tell you.
You could say have something safe for snowy days.
Yes.
And that is figurative. But the truth is, talking about snowy days, because if you don't have if you're not prepared for snowy days, trust me, you don't know what to do.
Mm.
So in every aspect of life, like even preparing for this snowstorm, the information was coming over constantly. Make sure you have this, make sure you have that, make sure you have this. So just as we prepare for the snowy days, the snowstorms of life doesn't come with a warning. But when we have goals set, when we have things when we are aware of what we have and where it is, this tragedy of life or the challenges of life is easier, if you might say. But when you don't have a plan, things or the stress level spirals because you don't know where to start. So it's important. We are still in January. Remember, it's a mindset. I was listening to a a a podcast today, and Dr. Paul, he was sharing with us about the mindset. And sometimes we start something because we are so motivated. However, if the consistency does not remain, then that falls by the way. And he was sharing about how habits are formed. If you start something 5, 6 days and you stop, you don't develop an habit. And if you want to change a habit, you need to work through that for what, 63 days. And how they do it is like 21 days increment. So you actually see little progress. But if the point I want to make, if you do the same thing like you did last year and the year before and the year before, you won't get to where you want to go. You cannot just flow through life without a plan and expect to reap the success or progress as to where you think you want to go. In other words, you have those big, nice plans on your vision board or wherever you write them or in your phone. But if consistent strategies are not employed every single day, you will get frustrated and you will just end up where you were the year before
Mm.
and the month before and two, and then as when the year ends, you say, oh my goodness, all of this, and I did not do anything. So it's time. You still have time if you didn't start at the end of the year, as we remind you to gather things, write down things, get your folder that you have. As soon as the documents come, you put them in that folder. Do not discard anything without you showing it to your tax accountant, your financial advisor, as to what is this for. I didn't think it was necessary, and then you discard it, then you realize it was part of the information for you to do your taxes. So gather them up, put them in one place. So when it's time, you can be ready to file your taxes. But before you file your taxes, I want you to check on, like a doctor's visit, check on your tax information. If you have not done or registered or ID me, get a IRS account so you can know what is happening. You can know, you can see, you can actually see the taxes that were filed prior years, so you know exactly where you're at. Don't leave things to chance. And to add an additional protection or security, you get an IP PIN. Of course, if you didn't get it, I think November last year, you should be able to still get it because it's electronic. So do yourself a favor and sit down and go on irs.gov and create an ID Me account and also get an IP PIN. With this IP PIN, when you file your return, before it's submitted, this number you get, you would give it to your tax accountant. So they would input that number, that PIN number. So the taxes would be rejected if, God forbid, that someone hijack your social security number and try to file taxes because you were issued an IP pin, and this pin it changes every year. It's only good for that tax year. So peradventure somebody hijack your social security number and file a tax return. That tax return would have been rejected because the PIN needs to be on that return before it is electronically submitted to the IRS for filing. So two things: register for an ID.me account and get your IP pin so you will be prepared. You would see what's on your returns that were filed previously, and you would also protect yourself from the hijackers of Social Security and filing your taxes. We call them thieves.
Mm. Um, could I back up a little?
Okay, back
And
up.
yes, and go back to
Make sure you put on your lights.
my reverse light.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to go back to what you say about this big extension thingy, big what
The big, beautiful
beautiful, right? Big beautiful bill.
uh-huh.
Right. You mentioned something about overtime.
Mhm.
So suppose I get 35,000 for my overtime.
Mhm.
You are telling me that 30 or 35,000 or maybe 40,000 is not taxable?
The specifics of these numbers, you need to sit down with your tax accountant and
Oh,
they
okay.
will go through
The numbers.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay. That's
yes.
why you need to sit down with her.
Yes, yeah. I'm just giving brief
Br-
I'm just giving
Overview.
an
Okay.
overview.
But it's based on
Yes, it's
cases.
right. It's not
Okay.
a prescription, it's an overview.
Okay. 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 Wonderful. Wonderful. So, well, they need to call you then.
Yes.
No?
No, that if
Yeah?
they call me, they would have to have their documents. So they have a tax accountant. If they don't have a tax accountant, I can assist
Oh,
them.
okay.
I can do their taxes. But I'm just giving you an
Want you to
overview.
ask. So
Yes,
you're knowledgeable.
yes. So
Mm.
you can prepare for your tax account.
Okay.
And for those who are listening, for those who have big groups, for churches who need assistance in sharing information, I'll be happy to do a tax talk for you to enlighten your people, your congregant, uh, regarding different aspects of tax, and also to assist you in putting things together, not just for taxes, but for the event of changes in your life. Because 90% of people, it is said, they do not prepare documentation, they have nothing together. The your passport, your I remember when we did the Red Cross, when we do the Red Cross training, they always say that you should have an emergency bag packed.
Mm.
But although I know that, do I have one packed?
No.
I may have something in a drawer, but I have my documents together, but do I have an emergency bag pack? No.
No.
And this information, my mom, she always remind us. I remember when I just started working in the city, driving from country to the city, she always said, "Little, make sure you have a change of clothes in your car." And I keep saying yes. Sometimes I put it, sometimes I don't. And one time we had a lockdown, some shooting or whatever was going on, and I could not go home. And I had to go to the store and buy an entire suit of
Outfit.
clothes,
Mm.
everything, because I did
Mercy.
not listen to my
No,
mother.
you listened, but you didn't hear
I did not
and did not take
I
action.
did not take action. That's the thing. Did not. So there's so much information on YouTube, so much information popping up on your screen, useful information. And most of the time we read them, but we just jump back in the routine of our day
We are
and
comfortable.
yeah, and forget about it. But I am imploring you, as Paul says, I am beseeching you, get your things together, get all of your information together so you can be prepared for anything. Though we can never be too prepared, but it's best to be prepared. And we just have few other things to grab more than everything is all over the place and then we are caught off guard. Now, overview again, one of the impact of this big, beautiful bill. It says the bill is designed to boost gross domestic product, increase worker wages, and protect jobs. It's a whole 887-page bill, but as I said, I'm just summarizing. And it also impact areas of energy, education, social programs, and so many other different things. So
So when it takes effect,
it this bill took effect since July of
oh, it took
2025.
effect
Yes,
July 25,
yes,
2025.
yes.
Okay, okay.
So some of the provisions that were made in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, it should have ended 2025, but with this big beautiful bill, it's absorbs and changes a lot of things. And so the things that I mentioned earlier on, it's also part of the provision.
Mm, okay.
Now, for the big people, those big investors who have big investments, these are some of the changes that profits or benefits them. Estate planning. The one big beautiful bill, it raises estate gift and generation skipping transfer taxes. That's allowing individual to shield up to 15 million, and that's for single, and couples up to 30 million from federal taxes beginning 2026. So in 2026, for people who file taxes next year, and they have um, gift tax or estate taxes, the 30,000 for married filing jointly and 15 for single. Now, this is for people who have huge investments.
So it's basically just the same as two single people. Because if I am single and I am filing, then I have a cap of 15 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are single and you are filing it, a cap of 15.
Yeah.
And if both of us are filing together, it should be more.
No, married filing jointly. Well, we don't make the laws.
Oh,
It's based on the law, what the law says.
okay.
So
But those will benefit. That's
it,
what I'm saying.
well,
How does that benefit?
listen, me and you're not in that category.
Who
So
tell you that?
no, we have
We not
15 million to give as a gift tax. We have more than 15 million. Anyway, let's leave that. Let's leave that be. Let's leave that be. The other thing, the expanded exemption provide increased flexibility for getting for gifting. We're just expanding on what we said earlier for gifting and wealth management, including using trust to reduce the capital gains taxes that is paid. Another benefit or of the one big beautiful bill is asset strategy, and that has to do with research and development for big businesses again. So as I said, it's just an overview. This also one big beautiful bill. It talks about it affects the business structures, business owners who choose their entity structure by changing tax incentives. And they talk about pass-through entities, which is S corporation, partnership. So all of these things it talks about, and it's for mainly businesses. And all of this information I'm sharing with you, it's found on the irs.gov, but it's a whole big thing. But I just scrape the summary just to share a little bit with you and for you to know that there are changes, and you can ask your tax accountant, how does this affect you and what do you need to do? Yes, I see you're thinking. Any question?
No, not at this time
Oh,
because you said me not in that category.
but it's not only you're saying not in that category. So you say during tax season, or when the year begins, and a lot of people have stressors, and we are trying to help you to minimize the stressors. You see, minimize the stressors that comes with filing taxes. For us tax accountants, it's somewhat a little stressful because we have the influx of um of clients, and clients needing information right away. But also because we structure ourselves, and we are able to manage the flow when it comes in. So it's very important to not only bombard your tax accountant, and it's not actually bombarding. You may feel as if you are bombarding them, but no, ask questions, and that's how you learn. Though you may not know the jargons because it's not your field of expertise. So don't think that, oh, I'm asking a stupid question. It's not a stupid question because you have your expertise in audiovisual. I don't know much. I have to ask you almost everything. So it's the same thing in the tax world. You ask, what is standard deduction? It's not a foolish question. You just don't know because it's not your field of expertise. And information is there, but sometimes when you Google something, you get a whole heap of information. But if you sit with your tax accountant, they may be able to, break it down to your level that you can understand. Something that you don't do, or you don't know, you are you are not stupid, you are just not knowledgeable of that.
Mm.
And so I'm here just to share a little bit of information. And this is what I'm sharing with you right now is basically just for the US. So that's in a nutshell of the one big beautiful bill. If you need more information, you can drop questions in the chat on YouTube, and I can answer. Also on Facebook, I can answer the questions.
All
And
your information is in the description,
yes, my
so
information is
we
in the
can
description. So
shout you.
you can give me a call
Mhm.
if it's something specific to do with your, if I can answer based on I need information, then I'll say, okay, this is for your tax accountant. But feel free to connect with me and I'll be happy to help you.
Mhm.
So I'm going to my favorite part, my other favorite part. um where did I put my thing again?
Mm.
So so we started this, one of the goals that we made this year um is to do the money exercise. And as I shared with you, I started at the lowest. And for those who want to get to their destination faster, maybe the middle of the year, you could have started at a higher level. I started at $1 for the first week, and some people have started with $5. Others have started with the end goal, that the $52, which is the 52 weeks. So they started 52, 51, 50, and they're going. But
49, 48,
for
47,
the, yeah,
46,
yeah, yeah,
45.
yeah. And so I started at the first level, one first week, two second week, and so on. So this week I am at, where am I at? So this week is the fourth week, right? No,
Yeah,
the week that just passed
Friday gone, the
is
24th
was the fourth week.
was the fourth week. Yes.
So I am at 3 and 3, 6 and 4, 10. That's $10.
Mm.
So I'm at $10 this week. It may not look like a lot, but when it's accumulating, I have an accumulation. So I have $10. My $10 is in this. So next week I'll have 21.
Mhm.
I'll have $21
No,
next.
15.
Not 15?
Yes, because it's $7 you're going to add.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Oh, you see? So so I'll have what?
Hmm?
So oh yes, January
It'll be
31st
15.
will be $15.
Mhm.
Yes.
The
The
last
last week.
weekend, the last
Yes.
Friday,
So next week,
which is next
Monday,
week
I'll
Friday.
show you my bottle. I'll have $15.
Hope you are doing it also.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if you start today, all right, say for argument's sake, your starting day is this weekend. So Friday, you start with $1. And next Friday, you add $2. And so that will be a total of $3. And then the following Friday. So just keep a track. As a matter of fact, let me send let me post that in the
YouTube.
no man in on the meeting. Yes, and
Yeah.
post it on YouTube.
So you
Let me
can
see now.
also
How can I
see,
do this? Um
you can post it on me on the meeting chat. Just to show
yeah,
you.
hold on. Let me see something.
While he's doing that, we know that habits that we already form, it's just easy to go through. It's a routine for us once we form habits.
Mm-hmm.
And because we decided December, we set goals. And I hope you're looking at your vision board. I hope you're looking at the goals that you set. And if you're frustrated that you are not meeting or reaching your goal for the different weeks, take heart. Just restart, reset, and go again. Because like a child, like a baby, when a baby just start walking, they just didn't just get up and just walk or just run. They fall, but they got up. It's the same way now. We're setting goals. It's new. We're like babies doing something for the first time. So give yourself a little break. Don't beat up on yourself.
Okay. For those on the meeting platform, if you click on that download button in the center of your screen, you should be able to download It's a Word document. So if you don't have any Word application on your phone, then it will be better to send it to your email it to yourself, or um, log off and log back in on your computer, laptop, or desktop, and just click on the download. As I said, if it's on your phone, then you'd have to send it to yourself with an
as an
email
email.
so that you can get it open, or download a Word document app, and you should be good to go. You have a lot of free apps with for Word documents. We'll try to upload it to the YouTube, so you can also click maybe by tomorrow. You don't just go to the YouTube, and it would be somewhere in the description. Thank you.
And also, if you can also Google money exercise, you can actually see the different ones. If you don't want to use the one we are using, you have a choice of what you want to use. But we're setting ourselves up for success. We want to go through the process. We want to see the progress every week. There is progress, just as we have the $10, it may not look like a lot, but there is progress. And that's how our life is as we go through, as we set goals. For those of us, whether adults or young persons in college, you have some of us who are adults, older adults, we're still doing whether certifications or whatever. Every single day, we need to do something on it, because if we wait until it's near exam time to actually revisit the book, we will be cramming and we may not be successful because it takes time to understand what we are studying so we'll be able to replicate it on the exam paper. So incremental consistency is what is there such a word?
Yeah.
That's my word.
Yes.
Incremental consistency, and we will get to our desired goal.
Mm, wonderful.
So if there are no questions or any comments, we will, let's see if there are any questions.
No.
Okay, there are no questions. So you can still put the questions in on YouTube and we will answer them,
Or
as,
give a call, because
or
all
give
the
a call.
information is
Yes,
there,
yes.
email, and a telephone number. So,
Once again, we are happy that you're here with us. And, as we consistently remind us of our goals, of our desires, and how we will proceed once we are consistent. So, incremental consistency. My word, of course, is flow. And this week is week 4. Oh, no, this week is week 5. So we are flowing through our challenges with resilience and emerge stronger. So that's my quote for this week. We are flowing through our challenges with resilience and emerge stronger.
mm,
So until next week,
next week,
we thank you for
7:30.
7 o'clock.
7, okay, 7
7
p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard
Okay,
Time.
okay, wonderful.
So until next week, we'll see you for another episode of Mindset Monday.